For this speaker, we're going to scan it into the computer. That's a little bit easier. So drop it on a flatbed scanner. Select the area we want to scan. Now once we get this into the computer, we can use this to trace the image out. Grab our image and drop it onto our worksheet. What we need to do is give this image scale, and to do that, we're going to take some measurements off of the driver, add in a circle that has the right measurements of the circle that this is. We finished it. We're gonna cut a quick template out and see if it fits. This one's gonna take 54 seconds. We're making it out of MDF again. In case you haven't figured out, MDF is way cheaper than the acrylic. We can make a mock-up out of MDF and it really doesn't, it's like nothing. It doesn't cost us that much. And that way we're not wasting the more expensive product. And we have a match. Let's take it over to the door panel. Our holes line up there. I'm gonna get our speaker and we'll test fit that. Looks like we got this one in one. It's in there nice. We'll be able to put our screws into it here with our bolts. Factory screws will go back into place. I just want to compare the height. Actually a little bit shallower. So as long as the thickness of the magnet doesn't get in the way, we'll be all good. We're gonna make 2 of these out of that same 1/8 inch acrylic. Now what I'm hoping, ooh, perfect. I can use the circles out of the last piece to cut these, so I'm not wasting those pieces. To do that, we just drop the other piece into place and set these circles just like this, and it'll think that's just one big piece of acrylic and not give us any issues. We've put foam around both sides of this because it's going to sit like that. We've also pre-drilled our holes with this self-tapping bit here. Line up our terminals so that they match up with one of the holes here. We have some Allen screws that we'll thread this in, and we'll put a nut on the back so that it's a nice secure mount. When working with this material, always do it by hand so as to not go too fast and or strip the material itself. Set it in place, put the nuts on the back. If you've done it properly, they will line up with these guys here. Put your factory screws back in, and there we have it. We've adapted that factory speaker mount to our new speaker. We have plenty of clearance here. We'll be able to use the existing foam ring to couple this into the door panel. I'm gonna get this off to Fernando. He'll finish soldering these up, and then we can plug it back into the car and get it done. It worked like a champ. And we're gonna save these circles because we might need these for the tweeters. For right now, we just need these 2 pieces. The next step is to get them bolted into place. I'm gonna do one of those real quick, and we'll take it over there and test fit it with all the screws and make sure it still fits. I added a piece of foam around the lip, and that's it. I'll add back in my 2 factory screws, and she will bolt right into place, looking very factory-ish. Now I'm a little bit paranoid, and I hate getting to the end of something and finding out it doesn't fit. I asked Fernando just to test fit it onto the door. And it goes on, snaps right back into place. He's giving me the thumbs up. With both of the speakers in place, this is what it'll look like from behind. Obviously this one screws into the door, but we got to keep the factory foam. We didn't have to replace it. Everything marries up really nice. It'll plug right in. The nice thing about this is this wire over here at the bottom is the factory plug for the mid-range. This can all just come right out, just solder it into place. Get it in the car, Fernando.
Let's go.
To the third speaker in the 3-way set, the one I've been dreading this whole time, the tweeter. No, let's just get to it. Oh boy. As suspected, that tweeter was a pain in the butt, and let me walk you through the process that we came up with. Looking in the holes, we said we have this clamp here, we have this clamp here, they're little teeth. These things they pinch the tweeter. And that got me thinking, what if we remove those? What are we gonna have underneath it? And that brought us to this guy. And yeah, it's really thin. Originally it had 2 square ends like this, but then after trying to get it in, I figured out that I needed to sand one of the ends off. And then I got closer looking at it and I was like, well maybe it should look something more like this. And there again, they had 2 pointed ends on it. I ended up sanding one end off, which brought us to this guy. And the idea was that this could snap into place underneath into the factory, and then the tweeter would sit into this. And that takes us to here. And installed right now is the new tweeter housing that will hold the tweeter in place. All I have to do, snake the wire in. Where the Focal logo is, it has to go this way because there's little teeth that stick out for the leads for holding the speaker. It has to sit in this area right here. Goes in. This will then sit on top of it. And our tweeter is now mounted in place. It stacks on top of one another, and then the grill snaps in and holds it in place, just like the factory did. The factory had this little tiny tooth right here, and when the grill went on, it sandwiched it in place so that it wouldn't pop up or move around. So I kind of stole their idea. A little bit different. So yeah, it was a pain in the butt. Look how thin it is. That corner right there, that is super thin. But that was that notch for that tweeter to fit in place. Now with that done, Fernando, do you have all your speaker mounts?
I got all the speaker mounts, yes.
Yes. That means we can move on to this, getting that amp out, and figuring out how we're gonna get the crossovers and everything in here, and make it a pretty amp board. I love pretty amp boards. Spent a couple minutes trying to figure out what we wanted to do here in the hood of the car for the amplifier. The factory amp clips into place here. It's fairly small. There's pieces here and here of the car, so I don't have this whole area to utilize for the amp rack. Brings us up to this area. There's nothing here. We're gonna mount the crossovers on this area. This piece here folds up. I'm gonna drill a hole right here and put a threaded rivet, basically the same thing that the car has right here. We'll put one of those here. We'll make a panel, screw it into place. This harness runs up and through here and then goes into the firewall over here. That means I can pull this out. The wires will reach over to this area. It won't have to extend them over to the crossovers. And then this hole, as well as back behind here, there's a tunnel, and that will get us into this grommet right here. There's this big bracket that goes in place. That way I won't have to wrap it around this side. And we'll just bring up the RCA, then 2 speaker wires and remote turn on up this way, following the path that this takes, and then everything will just go in. The reason why we're not going to mount the amp up here in this area, because we could just make a tapered bracket. I want to leave this alone. I don't want to put my amp on top of it. That way if they do have to service it, they don't have to take all of this equipment out of the way. In this case we have the room, so we'll just mount the amp here. I'm going to make this basic same shape. There's places for rivets here and here. That way we can just screw the amplifier board into place once it's made. And that's the plan as I see it. For this amp, because of where it's going and the cover goes over it, I don't want to make sure there's enough air around it to breathe. I'm going to just stick with 1/8 inch. It's not that big of a piece. There's nothing real complex about this shape, so I'm just going to trace it out and cut it as opposed to putting it on and routering it out. And that's our basic shape. This one does have round corners here, so I'll just take this over and put a little sanding on the edges, make it all pretty and match. After that, we'll start getting the amplifier on here and wire it up. First up is going to be the crossovers. We have a lot of wire coming from the car, and of course the amplifier wire. But what needs to run forward are these 2 tweeter wires. These have to go into the car and behind the dash. Fernando ran wires from those 2 top tweeters into behind the radio, where all our connections are going to be made. For tweeters, we're using gray, blue, and white blue. I made a matching set here. I'm going to grab 4 screws so I can get this positioned. Crossover panel for right now is as done as it's going to get. The rest of the wiring will be done in the car from the factory harness. This is the tweeter wire that goes off to the side and will run up behind. Next up is the amplifier. I want to put it down low so that I have room to get this screws in place. I can run the wire up the top here. When using ABS, don't just drill screws into it. Always pre-drill your holes. And this is what we come up with for the wiring for the amp rack. This will bolt into place and then our wiring will go up. Well, you know what? Instead of talking about it, let's just get it into the car and we'll start routing the wires where they need to go.